Hello, Bloomington. All right, here we go. Hello, everybody. I'm Joe Wren, your Master of Ceremonies tonight and anchor of Indiana News Desk. This is Bette Savage, Director of the City of Bloomington Volunteer Network. Our entertainment was provided by Hoosier guitarist and songwriter Cade Puckett. Cade is the third-generation fingerpicker and obviously a fantastic musician. Thank you, Cade, wherever you are. We welcome all of you as we celebrate Bloomington's community of dedicated volunteers. We know, and you know, that a lot of the success of the organizations where you volunteer is because of you. When it seems like society is focused on getting more, spending more, achieving more, it helps to stop and think about the importance of service, the importance of thinking beyond ourselves, and focusing on the needs of others and the needs of our community and our world.
The work of the Bloomington Volunteer Network is to build on community assets and tackle community issues through people power. You're the people powering this town we call home. I'm proud to work in a city and for a city that places such a high value on service. The Be More Awards has been endorsed as an Indiana Bicentennial Legacy Project. Tonight we celebrate you and your work, and our history as well, all the things that have been pioneered by concerned, active citizens. I want to take a moment to mention that one of the 61 nominations submitted this year was submitted posthumously for Lisa Morrison. I knew Lisa, and I know many of you did as well. Over many years, Lisa worked to support Middleway House, the Animal Shelter, the Food Bank, the Tibetan-Mongolian Buddhist Cultural Center, and many other organizations. Her positive attitude and enthusiasm for life produced a bright light in our world. I also want to mention an unusual nomination for the unknown volunteers, the spouses and family members who support their loved ones who commit themselves to service. The nominator states, "They don't complain about our passion for volunteerism. They don't complain about the many hours we spend. They don't complain about the fuel cost. They don't complain when we have to arrange vacations around our volunteer activities." Does this ring a bell, anybody? They don't question when our volunteer tasks demand financial contributions. Without their total support, perhaps we would not be able to carry on our commitments to serve our great and magnificent community, which they also totally love and respect. These many spouses and family members are the unknown volunteers in service to our community. Thank you, Amal Altoma, for saying it so well.
The philosopher and humanitarian Jean Vanier said, "Many people are good at talking about what they are doing, but in fact do little. Others do a lot, but don't talk about it. They are the ones who make a community live." All of you are here tonight demonstrate the continued commitment of our vibrant community to a culture of service.
After the program tonight, for the fourth year in a row, Natalie Cavanaugh, the server at Nick's who hosts their fundraiser Third Thursday at Nick's, is throwing an after party for tonight's attendees in Nick's back room on the main floor. The organization with the most supporters there will receive all of Natalie's tips plus 10% of total sales, food and beverages. You don't need to bring any proof that you've been here. Just let your wait person know what organization you're there to support. I know I'll be stopping by, and I hope to see many of you there. I want to make a note that there's been a minor change in the program. Two of the presenters, Beverly Callender Anderson and Erica Vaughn, will switch places. Beverly is one of 17 women who will be appearing in the Cardinal stage production of Love, Lost, and What I Wore, beginning this weekend to benefit My Sister's Closet. They have a rehearsal tonight, so she has to leave a bit early. Break a leg, Beverly. Not really. Now it's time for our thank yous. Please hold your applause till the end. We'd like to thank the selection committee members, Marcus Whited from the Community Foundation, Jen Hoddle from United Way, David Sipes from the IU Credit Union, and Mary Doucette, who's with WTIU. They did the impossible, and I'm sure if we had 5 different selection committees, we'd have 5 different outcomes, and I know they'd agree with me. That's why this celebration is truly about every honoree. The nominators are another group I'd like to thank. You told their stories. They told your stories, and they told them well. WTIU for producing television spots focusing on tonight's awards program. The Community Access Television Services, you can call them and request a showing of the Be More Awards anytime. WonderLab Museum of Science, Health, and Technology, they donated enough free admission passes so that every individual who was nominated could have 2, and every group that was nominated could have 3. So if you haven't looked in your little certificate envelope yet, you'll see that there are some passes in there. I'd also like to thank Downtown Bloomington, Inc., which donated gift certificates for each of the Be More Award recipients, the Buskirk Chumley staff for being such gracious hosts, Blooming Foods for the yummy food who thought the food was yummy. I did. I love their food. And tonight's event volunteers, Colleen Cooper, Diane David and Jean Gunning from WonderLab, Ellen Bergen and Kenlyn Albright from Monroe County Youth Council, as well as photographers Martin Bowling and Mac McLaughlin. Community and Family Resources Department staff, Michael Shermis, who's in the booth. Looks like he's doing a good job. The IU School of Public and Environmental Affairs Service Corps member who's with us this year and next year, Alex Massey. He worked very hard on that commemorative program. Sophia Abdullah, who's interning with us this semester from Ivy Tech. And of course, Lucy Shake, the Assistant Director of the Volunteer Network. She's hiding back there. She showed her foot. Did you see that? And our event co-sponsors, United Way of Monroe County, IU Credit Union, WTIU, the Community and Family Resources Department of the city, and the Community Foundation of Bloomington and Monroe County. The foundation provides the cash that's linked with the Be More Awards. Each recipient has earned $500 for the organization where he, she, or they volunteer for a sum total of $5,000. Now for the applause. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, now that that's out of the way, tonight is a celebration, a party. So during the community portrait, we want you to feel free to give a shout out or clap when you see someone that you know up on the screen. And those of you who've been here before know it's okay to get a little loud, and a little rowdiness is fine. So get ready, here we go. Here comes our parade of honorees.
Excuse me. Thank you, Joe.
I want you to get together. 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 Put your hands together one time. I want you to get together.
All right, now that we've seen your photos, let's give the people around you a chance to see you in person because you're here. So if you're able, would all of the nominees please stand, both individuals and group members? And then how about those unknown volunteers that Bet talked about earlier? Join them in standing too right now. Go ahead. Big round of applause. Thank you so much. Okay, now let's move to the awards portion of the program. Would Bloomington Mayor John Hamilton and Tina Peterson, the President and CEO of the Community Foundation of Bloomington and Monroe County, please take a seat on the stage. I'd also like to invite Brent Molnar, my colleague at WTIU, to present the first award. It's the Be More Healthy Award.
Well, that's ironic because I think I scarfed down about 4 brownies before we got on stage here. Hello, my name is Brent Molnar. I am the Station Operations and Content Director at WTIU Public Television, and WTIU is so proud to be a part of this evening's event. I'm honored to present this year's Be More Healthy Award. This award honors significant contributions to the improvement of health, wellness, recreation, or fitness. 10 individuals, 6 groups, and 2 families are being honored this evening for their work in this area, work which enables Bloomingtonians to be healthy, to eat nutritious food, or those brownies, to enjoy the outdoors, and to stay fit. To all of you who are contributing to our community in this way, we say thank you. Now, an important part of WTIU's mission includes public safety. The services we provide as part of our emergency alert system, including amber and silver alerts for children and adults, closely align with the work of this year's Be More Healthy Award recipient. To explain the critical need, consider this. In 2012, a Bloomington Alzheimer's patient walked out of her home at 4 a.m. one winter morning. She was later found dead from exposure, less than half a mile from her home. Also that year, a man with Alzheimer's rang a doorbell to a rural home and was shot 4 times when he tried to enter. So imagine if in either one of these cases, this was one of your loved ones. Unfortunately, as baby boomers begin to reach the prime age for Alzheimer's and dementia, and 1 out of every 44 children now is diagnosed with autism, we as a community are likely to see more and more of these individuals in vulnerable situations. That's why this recipient's work is so critical. But there's good news. Kind of a downer to start with, isn't it? The work of this evening's recipient and her organization assists caregivers in protecting loved ones who suffer from cognitive conditions which could cause them to wander off by using bracelets, trained personnel, and handheld receivers to track them should they go missing. Thanks to this life-saving system, the average time to find someone who's lost is now about 30 minutes, as opposed to more than 12 hours without the equipment. And without this recipient's efforts, Monroe County would not have this life-saving service. Since 2013, the work of our organization has saved 15 lives, and not only affects patients, but gives peace of mind to caregivers and the patients' families. The recipient's own daughter, Sophie, who has a nonverbal form of autism, was the first to use this organization's tracking device in Monroe County. And since the day Sophie was fitted with her bracelet in 2012, this life-saving program has grown to serve 40 patients and now has a waiting list for even more. Over the past few years, the recipient has raised more than $48,000 to support and grow the program, and has worked with the Van Buren and other fire departments to strengthen the service, and also dedicates more than 20 hours per week to the Monroe County chapter of Project Lifesaver, all while raising 4 children and working full-time, and that alone deserves an award. So with all that, the Be More Healthy Award recipient for 2016 is Carrie Shabarami. Would Carrie and her nominator, Paul Ford, please join us on stage? I see someone running downstairs right now. I'm just so glad we've overflowed to the balcony this year. That's fantastic. Oh, here they come. Mayor John Hamilton will present you with your award, and Tina Peterson with the Community Foundation will present a check for $500 to Van Buren Township's Project Lifesaver. Congratulations. Carrie, would you like to say a few words about your project? Congratulations. Thank you so much for the work that you do.
Thank you. I just want to say thank you, and getting this program together was beneficial for the community and beneficial for families like ours. We personally know how it feels. And just, I liken it to giving as a beacon. My daughter can't talk, and some people with Alzheimer's don't know their names any longer. So it's there, I'm here. Here's where you can find me. And it's free, so if anyone needs it, you know where to find us. And we want to continue doing this for the community. It's a huge asset for Monroe County. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, Beverly Callender Anderson is our next presenter. Beverly is the director of the Community and Family Resources Department of the city and will present the Be More Creative Award.
Good evening. Good evening. All right. I'm very happy to be presenting this year's Be More Creative Award. This award is presented for exceptional efforts within an arts or culture-based organization, endeavor, or issue. 8 individuals and 4 groups in this category are being honored tonight. Some of you share your creativity, some of you share your culture, and some of you diligently support the creative and cultural work of others. For your efforts yield the excellent quality of life for which Bloomington is known. And to all of you, we say thank you. The recipients of the Be More Creative Award provides free opera performances to elementary, middle, and high school students. Somebody knows who it is. Across South Central Indiana. By doing so, our recipients introduce area young people to opera through engaging experiences as audience members and give developing professional musicians an opportunity to hone their performance skills. For many audience members, these performances are their first experience of opera or the performing arts. By designing and providing free study guides to schools and working with musicians and a stage crew who donate their preparation and performance time, our recipients make fine arts accessible to children of all ages, giving them insight into the possibilities of creative expression. The Be More Creative Award recipients for 2016 are Reimagining Opera for Kids. As the members of Reimagining Opera for Kids come to the stage, and I'm not sure if their nominator is here, Satsu Holmes, but if the nominator is here, we'd like to ask them to come to the stage as well. I'm sorry, she's in France, where I would like to be, so she's not here.
The talking. This is not in the job description. This is a remarkable room of people, and it's an honor to be here with others so active members of the community, and I look forward to seeing what the next year holds in store for all of us. Thanks to all of our supporters and community partners and our volunteers, and we'll see you next year.
Now I'd like to ask Tina Peterson to present the Be More Energized Award.
Good evening. So I am very pleased tonight to present the Be More Energized Award, which is given each year to an exceptional child or teenager or a group of young people who improve our community through the initiative, positive outlook, and volunteer spirit they display. I'd like to take a moment first, however, to thank all the young people here tonight who were nominated. You are using your time to make a difference in our community, and your energy and your enthusiasm is contagious. Your community commends you, appreciates you, and needs you, so thank you very much. This year's recipient of the Be More Energized Award began volunteering at the WonderLab Museum of Science, Health, and Technology in the 7th grade, and in the last 4 years has donated 632 hours of her time and her talents. It would seem that our award winner has an abundance of talents, by the way, to share. In fact, her nomination narrative reads a bit like a thesaurus entry for the word invaluable. Just to give you an example, responsible, hardworking, positive attitude, willingness to learn, excellent work ethic, fresh ideas, curious, intelligent, productive, committed, adaptable, and a great sense of humor. Our recipient began her volunteer experience at WonderLab by working in the museum with visitors. Over time, she's taken on more responsibilities at the museum and gained the trust of all who work with her. She's run science activities, worked in many departments, including development, membership, and volunteer coordination. She's supported many programs like the birthday program, the museum visit coordination and outreach events, and summer and fall science enrichment camps. It's from her work with the camps that we get some of the most glowing comments about our recipient, such as, she prompted children and students to think. She's a natural leader and a great teacher. She has the WonderLab energy. I don't know if that's bottled yet, but, and would make, I love this, and would make a wonderful future staff member. Perhaps her nominator sums it up best when stating that it's hard to imagine how this volunteer could actually be more, but it's in her nature to strive to do so. She is richly deserving of the Be More Energized Award, and the 2016 recipient is Shay Upadhyay. Okay, I want to do one more thing. You guys clapped so well that I didn't have time to say, and Jean Gunning, would you join us up here also? I know that you're here. Jean is the exceptional nominator in this case.
Thank you. First, I'd like to thank Jean for nominating me and anyone else who sneakily contributed to my nomination, everyone in the front row. And WonderLab has opened me up to so many opportunities, including being here tonight, and I can't thank you enough. Are you going to come up? No?
All right, Barry Lesso, the Executive Director of the United Way of Monroe County, please come on stage to present the Be More Uplifting Award.
Joe, thank you very much. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Round of applause for the crowd. And how about a round of applause for the people who put on this event, the folks at the Bloomington Volunteer Network, Bet, Lucy, Beverly, great crew. And working the AV, the undersung hero, Michael Shermis. Thank you, Michael. Yep. And the only reason I'm pointing him out is he has photos of me that I do not want displayed on the big screen, so I'm hoping he just forgets to put those up. Anyway, thank you very much, and thanks to Joe for hosting again tonight and for WTIU for recording tonight's event. Welcome, Mayor Hamilton. This is wonderful. Congratulations. You now have an opportunity to lead our city, fulfill your vision, and help Bloomington be more. And best of all, you get to be interviewed every month by Bloomington's Wolf Blitzer, Charlie Rose, Chris Matthews, Mr. Joe Wren. So that's the highlight of the job. I got to tell you, I walked in and the mayor has his camera out. And the mayor is snapping photos. And I guess I've just been watching too much news. Because normally when I see a politician snapping photos, it's of themselves. He had the camera pointing out, pointing at you. That's, you do understand how politics works, right? It's supposed to be doing yourself. Anyway, so that again, I think, again, congratulations. I believe Marcus from the Community Foundation was supposed to be taking pictures of Tina when she was up here talking. I got to tell you, he did take 3 selfies. Sorry, buddy. I know at some point she's going to find out. The mayor was on a trip. He was recently on his way back from to Bloomington after a conference, and he was at the airport, and they announced the flight was full. And the airline was looking for volunteers to give up their seats. In exchange, the airline said they'd give you a $100 voucher off the next flight, which was leaving in an hour, first-class seat. And as soon as the announcement ended, 9 people ran up to the counter to take advantage of that offer. About 15 seconds later, everybody sat down, and the lady behind the ticket counter said, "Now, if there's anyone other than the flight crew who would like to volunteer, please step forward." Well, United Way is indeed proud to be part of a group that recognizes such great volunteers who truly do want to serve, and we appreciate being a partner with the city and all the other fine sponsors. I am pleased to present the Be More Uplifting Award. And Joe and I developed this signal right before the show. This award was developed by the selection committee this year, and they took all 61 nominations into account when choosing this year's recipient. On behalf of an organization that understands the importance of education, earning stability, and life's essentials, I sincerely want to thank all of you here who work so hard and volunteer so hard to give our community and everyone living here a lift up. We talk often about building community. We mean that in a lot of different ways. It could be building strong relationships, building confidence, building new hope, and sometimes even building stuff, and not just on Minecraft. Occasionally, we have a chance to take something old and rebuild it into something amazing. Now imagine knowing that there are people who desperately need a place to live. Imagine knowing that the closest place a homeless family can stay together is in Martinsville. Imagine hearing stories of children moving from school to school, as many as 8 schools in 1 year, because they and their parents have no real place to stay. And imagine driving to work every day and seeing a row of unused houses just waiting for some TLC. A light might come on. If only those houses could be lifted back up to some better use. But how? And like all great projects, this took planning, it took time, it took energy, and it took the determination to do the right thing the right way. Our recipient tonight has been able to pull people together to remodel and maintain a row of houses owned by IU Health and generously leased to the organization that nominated them. Those houses now provide emergency shelter to homeless families, as well as childcare and other programs to help people get back on their feet. The group working around the year has completely renovated 3 properties in the past 4 years. And just by comparison, in the past 4 years, I don't think I've even fixed 3 of the floorboards in my house. So this is a lot of work. A 4th property is rapidly being transformed from a vacant 2-bedroom house into a space for infant, toddler, and child programming. Without these volunteers, our nominator could not offer the shelter it does to families who are homeless. This has allowed the only whole shelter family in our region of the state to provide shelter to 89 families since opening their doors in 2011. Tonight's group has donated thousands of hours over the last 4 years. Last year, they began construction on their newest shelter house on the coldest day of the year because that's the day the building permit came in. And you all, if you've ever had a building permit, you know you get that, you start. Some of the volunteers are highly skilled laborers, others have limited skills. I'm not looking at you, John. Some of the volunteers are adults with developmental disabilities, seniors, or retired doctors. The nominator says what they all share in common is a passion for helping families with the greatest needs in our community provide more than shelter. They really put their love in these houses. Without them, we would not be possible. The nominator ends with, "This group is amazing." I agree, and I am proud to announce the Be More Uplifting recipient for 2016 is the very aptly named Hope Builders. Okay, will all the Hope Builders come up here? Will Elaine join them? While the Hope Builders make their way on the stage, of course, the organization is New Hope Family Shelter. Their nominator, Elaine Gwynn, is the executive director of New Hope, and you are going to get a very nice award from Mayor John Hamilton, and you're going to get a very nice check from Tina Peterson, and then you're going to come and say a lot of words.
I guess so, yeah. Well, if you hadn't guessed by now, we do everything as a group. Many of us look for things to do in retirement, and I found that being part of this group is the most rewarding thing that's ever happened to me, and I think if you talk to them, they'd say the same thing. Making life better for homeless families in the community is a goal that really we all have in common. And every Wednesday afternoon we get together. We do a lot of work. We do a lot of dirty work, and we do a lot of rewarding work. I don't know how many of you have had jobs where at the end of the day somebody has gone out of their way to say thanks for everything you do. But if you are a Hope Builder member, that's what you'll get at the end of every day. I want to thank the businesses in the community that have contributed materials for us to use to make these renovations. IU Health Bloomington for providing the houses for $1 a year per house rent. Without them, Hope Builders would not be in existence. New Hope Family Shelter would not be in existence. And there's a member here who absolutely refuses recognition. He's going to be really upset with me. I may not show up for work session tomorrow afternoon because I know he's going to be after me, but New Hope Family Shelter wouldn't be here without two generous gentlemen from the communities who decided to do something about the homeless situation. One is Bud Core, the former president and CEO of Bloomington Hospital, who I have had the privilege of working with, unfortunately, but is deceased. The other person who continues to carry the torch is Jim Riley. And if you know Jim, you know he is reluctant to take credit for what he does, but without Jim, Hope Builders and New Hope Family Shelter would not be here. So if you see Jim, thank him.
Okay, now I'd like to welcome Jackie Bauer, the City's Sustainability Coordinator and one of the leaders of the Monroe County Energy Challenge, to the stage. She'll present the Be More Sustainable Award.
Good evening. I am pleased to present the Be More Sustainable Award. This award recognizes innovation, leadership, and positive impact in the area of environmental sustainability. There were 4 individuals and 3 groups totaling over 100 people nominated in this category. I'd love to give a big round of applause to everyone who is working in this vital area. As an active member of the Monroe County Energy Challenge Task Force, the winner of our Be More Sustainable Award this year led the effort to assist neighborhoods that use high amounts of energy, performed free home energy assessments, trained teachers, helped make an empty house livable for a group of AmeriCorps volunteers who joined us last year, and helped convey to local residents that the best things you can do to reduce energy are to seal and insulate your attic with at least 12 inches of insulation, and to keep your thermostat at 68 degrees or lower in the winter and 75 degrees or higher in the summer. Shameless plug for the Energy Challenge. He helped get that message out all over the community. As a member of the Southern Indiana Renewable Energy Network Steering Committee, also known as the SIREN Steering Committee, this individual created and is a frequent presenter of the Going Solar program, which has since been presented over 50 times across Indiana to over 1,000 people. This presentation, this educational program, helps people make the leap into installing solar. All by themselves, Bloomington and Monroe County now account for nearly 1/3 of all solar installations in all of Indiana, partly due to the education that SIREN provides. And finally, as a mentor to youth, this individual teaches teenagers to weatherize houses and to build robots. He's helped fill a vital need for mentors in the STEM fields, in other words, the science, technology, engineering, and math fields. Trained as an electrical engineer, the many, many hours that our Be More Sustainable recipient has devoted to volunteer projects could have earned him big consulting fees. Instead, he is Bloomington's at-large consultant on all energy matters and freely provides professional advice to government entities, nonprofits, individuals, and congregations. Just to give you a little bit more of a sense of how this individual lives his life, I'd like to share a quote from George Bernard Shaw that I think it helps guide the way he works. Quote, "I am of the opinion that my life belongs to the whole community, and as long as I live, it is my privilege to do for it whatever I can. I want to be thoroughly used up when I die, for the harder I work, the more I live. I rejoice in life for its own sake. Life is no brief candle to me. It is a sort of splendid torch, which I have a hold of for the moment, and I want to make it burn as brightly as possible before handing it over to future generations." The Be More Sustainable recipient for 2016, I'm very delighted to say, is Woody Bessler. And joining Woody on stage are his nominators, Ann Hedden and Molly O'Donnell.
I'm not someone who's usually short of words, but you've rendered me rather speechless, the three of you. I'm incredibly honored. Thank you for nominating me for this, and I'm very grateful on behalf of SIREN to get the support of the award and the financing. You took the best quote a person could make out of something like this by using that George Bernard Shaw quote, but I truly believe that is the spirit of how one should live one's life. You know, they talk about leaning in is the common thing to say these days. Thanks very much to my other steering team members. Ann is one of them. Daryl is in the audience, Daryl Bogus. Some of the other steering members have recently taken sabbatical, but I'd like to mention Terry Ussery and Jean Linecooler and Lavanya and Arvind and Chandra. Thank you so much.
Our next presenter is Brian Price, who will present the Be More Knowledgeable Award. Brian is the president and CEO of the IU Credit Union.
Good evening. Are you having a nice time? A lot of terrific winners out there already. Well, it's my privilege and honor to present the Be More Knowledgeable Award, which spotlights excellence in the area of education and literacy. There were a total of 25 nominees in this category, 14 individuals and 11 groups. Makes it a very significant category indeed. Each nominee works very hard to help individuals reach their potential. With that, they do great work. Let's thank them for that. This nominee works with current and recently released inmates to help them make changes in their lives that need to be made. She helps IU students learn about social issues. She works with leaders in the community to help them understand the perspective of jail inmates and the barriers they face upon release. She leads a think tank, groups of men and women, a mixture of current and former jail inmates, as well as community members. These groups do research on criminal justice issues, bring back recommendations to community leaders for improvements in our community. In the United States, you're probably aware, we incarcerate more individuals than any other country in the world. Locally, our jail has a maximum of 126 inmates, but currently houses 250. Surely that gives you some perspective of the issue addressed by this individual. A recent study of our population in the jail indicates that those attending the jail currently have been in there 5 times. I hope you find that amazing and incredible and hard to believe, as I do, and certainly gives you an indication of the need of the service that's being provided. Persons released from jail, as we know, have issues in terms of securing employment, obtaining housing, and just simply being accepted in our community. To overcome these issues, we certainly know that they have to understand there's a better life, that there's hope, that they can be successful and a productive member of our society. This individual volunteers. Their activities develop self-confidence, communication skills, and with all of that, certainly helps reduce the barriers in our society. This individual's volunteer activities have several impacts. First, with the IU students for which she works, it's a life-changing event. For some of them, this is their first experience with those in that part of our society. The impact in the classes for the inmates, simply profound. They discover abilities they did not know they had. They gain confidence. They are empowered to take the experiences and take responsibility for their lives. Absolutely a critical component of their success in our community. Our nominee is a doctoral student and a mother with young children. Here are some statements from some of the think tank participants. She gives us hope and courage and knowledge. My outlook on life has changed dramatically. Another participant writes, she has made me feel as if my ideas actually matter. Don't we all want that? She has empowered me with hope, hope for a better future. Regardless of your position in life, we all want hope. They're no different than you or I in that regard. This is a terrific program. The Be More Knowledgeable recipient for 2016 is Lindsay Badger with New Leaf and New Life. Lindsay, would you come forward? Joining her will be Wayne Martin. The mayor has your award and Tina Peterson has your check. We offer our congratulations. Lindsay, we'd love to hear from you. Terrific work.
Thank you so much. I teach public speaking classes, but find this a little horrifying. I took a couple notes in case someone made me come up here and say something, just so I could say something. I'm really excited that New Leaf is a recognized organization more and more, and that the work we do in support of incarcerated and formerly incarcerated folks is being recognized. And especially the work of educating towards opening up spaces for increasing agency and supporting accountability between those who are most affected by the criminal justice system. I'm really sort of hoping that this acknowledgement might be part of the necessary movement in the city in making itself increasingly hospitable and inclusive of those affected by incarceration and criminalization, and might be part of the turn in the community's willingness to listen well to those who are most affected by incarceration, accepting their agency in defining their needs, and really being willing to acknowledge and welcome participation in our social and political spaces. I want to, of course, thank the folks at New Leaf who have supported my programs and have allied with me, sometimes behind a pretty unpopular cause. Thank the folks who are the rest of this sort of team of community members who come out regularly into the think tanks, both at New Leaf and in the jail, who show up and listen really well before working on behalf of or beside incarcerated folks. And I think mostly, though none of them are able to be here, I want to thank those who are incarcerated and recently released and the family members who support them, who, while struggling to find work themselves, to find shelter, to find health, to find community, prove themselves generous enough to center the needs of other folks who are in similar shoes, to find and build possibilities, and to break down barriers for others who are caught up in the system. My inspiration is really their generosity and commitment. Thanks.
All right, Erica Vaughn is our next presenter. Those of you who attended the Be More Awards 2 years ago may remember that Erica shared the 2014 Be More Engaged Award with her colleague, Charles Darnell, for their work with the Bethel AME Free Homework Help Program. Come on up.
Good evening, everyone. I'm excited to be presenting the Be More Collaborative Award. This award is presented to a group of volunteers or a family who demonstrates outstanding volunteer engagement. 22 groups and 2 families are being honored tonight, and we're excited about that. And we recognize that this is still a fraction of the many volunteer groups that nourish and strengthen Bloomington as a whole. So for these and others who are here, we just want to say thank you. The recipients of the award tonight work tirelessly to compassionately and effectively advocate for survivors of sexual violence, domestic violence, or human trafficking. And a crucial aspect of their role is that they specifically focus on the needs and the personal goals of survivors. They serve in many different roles and capacities. They provide support for survivors both over the phone and in person across varying settings. They emphasize educating the community and increasing awareness about sexual assault. They provide support for individuals at different programs as well. These individuals are extremely dedicated to their service. They put in at least 20 hours of training prior to even starting as volunteers. But their commitment indicates that they don't see this training as a burden, but rather as critical, that they might have the strong foundation in the knowledge and understanding that they need to serve in this capacity. They're also willing to engage in advocacy 24 hours a day, all throughout the year, willingly giving up holidays. And their commitment indicates again that they don't see this as an inconvenience, but rather as essential to best respond for those for whom they're advocating. In particular, their nominator wrote that she is truly in awe of the spirit of service that each of them displays, that they are truly a source of hope in a world in which negativity, anger, and tragedy can seem like the norm. She said that it is comforting to know that there are those who go so far above and beyond just to support others. The Be More Collaborative Award recipients for 2016 are the Middleway House On-Scene Advocates. Congratulations. Would the On-Scene Advocates, and I'm not sure, join us on the stage, as well as your nominator, Caitlin Lipa. And also, once everyone is here, may someone please share a few words with us. Oh, after that, I think the pick.
Thank you very much for honoring us with this award. As much as we support others, we also have the support of a lot of people around us, the staff at Middleway House, our mentors, Caitlin and Jen. When we get a call in the middle of the night, we wake up our roommates, our partners. We have a lot of support, and we're very honored to do this work. But I think one group of people that we necessarily don't recognize are the survivors we get to work with, who open up their lives to us in a very, very vulnerable moment. And we learn from them as much as we give, if not more. So in addition to all the support we get, I think we also want to honor the survivors with whom we work. Thank you.
Now, would Debbie Pigeon please come to the stage? Debbie is the Executive Director of Serve Indiana. Serve Indiana is a division of state government whose mission is to advance service and volunteerism by informing, connecting, and promoting opportunities and resources that enrich the lives of Hoosiers. Debbie will present the Be More Phenomenal Award.
Good evening. It's a delight to be here with you this evening. I want to note with Serve Indiana the few programs that you may have heard in your community, just so that you can connect Serve Indiana within your community, because we are here. Any AmeriCorps state volunteers get overseen and managed through our office. We get to oversee that federal funding. And then also, if there's boys and girls clubs around town, if there's any Indiana Kids participants that the academic support program that they participate in. It's a structured after-school program, is through us. So with that statewide perspective, it is a delight that the city of Bloomington has an awards program that recognizes all of the community organizations and the volunteers of the efforts that you put in on a day-to-day basis to improve the quality of life for the citizens of Indiana. With that, I am delighted and honored to present the Be More Phenomenal Award, which honors dedicated volunteer efforts to fulfill a mission of a nonprofit or governmental organization through advocacy or board or committee leadership. There were 9 individuals nominated in this category, representing many extremely important services. Oftentimes, the behind-the-scenes work which you do is critical to organizations which you support. Honoring you here tonight is one way the organizations and we recognize your work and thank you. The group, which is 2 people that won this award, has impacted through their service to the nonprofit over 175,000 clients and families during the time that they have volunteered. 175,000? Is that amazing? Between the 2 of these folks, they have volunteered almost a combined 40 years and over 90 hours per month dedicated to the organization. These 2 individuals clearly have a passion and a commitment, and they motivate, encourage, and support the nonprofit staff on a regular basis. One individual has volunteered 18 years, which is about 90 hours per month. The individual uses their skills and their talents to support the financial management of the organization, which is a critical role to the success of nonprofits, all while, of course, willing to do some of the tedious errands that also nonprofits need. Paraphrasing the nominator, it's true that thinking of volunteer tasks like reconciling accounts and printing and running payroll doesn't evoke the warm, fuzzy feelings that you get when you get to coach a child or a young adult through childbirth or rocking babies. But, however, the individual's effective and efficient volunteer service, which has been a cost-effective savings for the organization and has enabled staff and other volunteers to focus on the direct service to clients and has allowed the organization, because of this cost savings, to serve more and more clients on an annual basis. The other individual has volunteered for the organization for more than 20 years and serves about 12 hours a month. The individual gets the job done and meets the needs of the organization. From being a liaison with a congregation to recruiting volunteers, to requesting financial donations, to managing special events, the individual is efficient and motivated. The nominator noted the individual is not only extremely efficient, the individual has a calming presence. As a current board member, the individual is a servant leader, ensuring the needs of the organization are met. This individual has proven her effectiveness in shifting to the area where the help is most needed. Some departments debate over who's going to get this individual when they come in to volunteer. The individual is thoughtful and an all-star at teaching families about dental hygiene. And tonight, I am proud to say the Be More Phenomenal Award recipients for 2016 are John Workington and Catherine Sandifer. If John and Catherine and your nominator, Tina Tully-Lampke, would join us on stage. The check they received tonight is for the Hannah Center.
I am totally humbled and honored. I did not expect this at all. So I'm a little nervous to be standing up here talking. I volunteer because I am called to serve by my Lord, and that is the best place to do it is the Hannah Center and the Hannah House, and they are phenomenal people to work with, and it's amazing to work with young mothers and infants and be able to help them in their need. Thank you.
No, I am not John Workington. Accepting the award for the nominee, you've seen the Oscars. My name is John Sheehan. I'm the president of the board of directors of the Hannah Center, which many of you would know by our former name, the Crisis Pregnancy Center of Bloomington. And to just show you what a dedicated volunteer John Workington is, he has served as our volunteer bookkeeper for 18 years, as it indicates in your program. The reason he is not here to accept this award tonight is because he's in Columbus, Indiana, volunteering as an administrator and a teacher for Bible Study Fellowship, which he has volunteered for longer than he has for the Hannah Center. So this is the kind of dedicated volunteer that the city and all of you have decided to honor tonight, and I thank you for that. Thank you.
All right, our next presenter is Sarah Smith Robbins. Sarah is the director of the Learning Technologies at IU's Kelly School of Business. Sarah will present the Be More Bloomington Award. Welcome. Good to see you.
I didn't really need another reason to love living in Bloomington, but a night like tonight just gives you one more, you know? It is an absolute thrill to present this award. The Be More Bloomington Award includes all of the nominees for tonight. These are nominees that not only make Bloomington a better place for all of us to live, they make Bloomington more than other cities. They make it more welcoming, more generous, more exciting, more caring. Basically, they make it more Bloomington-y. So please thank all of the nominees who were nominated for this award. Anyone who volunteers in their community, who gives of their own time and talents to help others, is certainly commendable and worthy of recognition. But the group to whom I'm lucky enough to present this award tonight has taken this commitment to the community to another level. I'm not going to get emotional. They not only give their time and their talents, they found a way to turn the challenges that they face and even their own pain that they've encountered in the community into a program that educates, inspires, and prevents others from experiencing the bullying and discrimination that LGBTQ teens often face in the community. In the past year, this group has trained over 600 educators and school staff to help make schools safer and more affirming places for LGBTQ students. Rather than being overwhelmed by the high number of teens who encounter bullying, depression, self-injury, and suicide attempts, the winners of this year's Be More Bloomington Award took action. They've trained over 1,000 people who will in turn touch more people to make schools and other community organizations better resources for teens who desperately need a supportive place to thrive, grow, and be safe. For all of these reasons and more, I'm proud to present the 2016 Be More Bloomington Award to the Prism Youth Community Education and Training.
Yeah, hi. As the chair of the Education and Training Committee for Prism Youth Community, this is like really wow. I want to thank all of the adult leaders who are here with us tonight who were just like, hey, we'll let you guys go up on stage because you're the ones who did the work. And so that may be true, but without them constantly being able to take the time that we weren't because we were in school and saying like, hey, teachers, can we do this? And like, come in and talk about this kind of stuff with other teachers. Them being able to do that really helped us get our voices out there. And so I always want to thank them for being our mic of sorts. And then I also want to thank everybody on this stage because it was like 6 shifts of trainings, and so I'm really proud of every single person up here for not only the presentation day, but also all the like work days we've put in. And so, and I also want to thank the rest of Bloomington for thinking that we're doing good work. So, thank you.
And now the mayor of Bloomington, John Hamilton. No tough questions, though, for you tonight, John. You get to present an award. We'll present the Be More Dedicated Award for a Lifetime of Service.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm honored to be here with you. It's such a pleasure to be mayor of this community. There are a lot of reasons for that. First, when I got to see this stage jam-packed with volunteers at the beginning of this evening, oh my, what a jolt of energy and can-do and positive spirit and good karma and the series of people coming by. Bloomingtonians take initiative. You find solutions to problems. You continually improve what is already good about Bloomington, always going for great. Tonight, volunteers were honored for making Bloomington healthy, creative, energizing, uplifting, sustainable, knowledgeable, collaborative, phenomenal, dedicated. I know Bloomington volunteers are involved everywhere. You make Bloomington buzz. You make Bloomington shine. You make Bloomington hospitable. You make Bloomington more just. You make Bloomington smarter. You make Bloomington sizzle. You make Bloomington warmer. You make Bloomington cooler. You make Bloomington creative and quirky. You make Bloomington Bloomington. You get involved, you give back, you involve family and friends, you exhibit passion, compassion, love in what you do, and you care. And what you do makes a difference. So tonight, I'm here on behalf of 85,000 residents and all the visitors of Bloomington to thank you all. Please thank everybody here. Now the Be More Dedicated Award honors a lifelong volunteer in our community. This year, there were 9 wonderful nominees in this category. These 9 nominees have made a long and deep commitment to our city, giving years of service through a variety of community organizations which do critical work. The service of all of you has been in the areas of education, the arts, social justice, services for people with disabilities, healthcare, literacy, recreation, and more. It is impossible for us to thank you 9 enough, but we do thank all 9 of you. Thank you for your support. Now for the presentation of the Be More Dedicated Award. This nominee has served the community for almost 20 hours per month for 39 years, focusing her efforts on ensuring that public school students have access to the best resources her community has to offer. She is known for her creativity and artistic skills. For example, she takes photographs of the student of the month at the school where she volunteers and sends them to the local paper and uses them for school displays. Each graduating 8th grader knows her for the miniature graduation caps that she creates and displays in the front showcase with each student's name written on a cap. After reductions in force took the librarian position from the Edgewood Junior High School staff, this nominee helped keep the media center running smoothly, donating her time and creativity to the library assistant. Over the past 39 years, she has touched thousands of students, keeping over 600 students a year actively reading, encouraging achievement through the recognition that her Student of the Month photos bring, and providing much-needed assistance to the Edgewood Junior High Library staff. Hers is truly a lifetime of service. We are honored to present her with this award. The Be More Dedicated Award recipient for 2016 is Nola Donley. Nola. Will Nola and her nominator Donna Atkinson please join me on the stage to accept this award? Here she comes. Nola, congratulations.
Well, thank you very much.
He wants to take a picture of you.
Okay, thank you. Shall we go over?
He got it.
Did he get it already?
He got it.
All right. Yeah, okay. Thank you. This has been a long trip of 39 years. Excuse me. And I've learned a lot. When I first started, I was busy renting those dittos so the kids would have things to take home for homework. And now they push a little button on a screen on their iPads, so it really has changed. And I want to thank the Richland Bean Blossom Community School Corporation, and especially the Edgewood Junior High School family for letting me come along on this ride. Thank you.
I wish we could just keep on going. Are there any? No, that's it. Don't forget to tune in to WTIU throughout the year. You'll see more Be More Award recipients that we've honored tonight. Don't forget about the after party at Nick's. I think I can smell the strombolis already. I'm sure that some of you will be heading down there to enjoy a bit more time with your friends and colleagues, and then maybe raise some more money needed for your organization. This concludes this very special program. Thank you so much for joining us for the 2016 Be More Awards.